What's up YouTube? Ozzy back with another video. Ex-Tekken veteran, ex-Tekken event organizer. And you know what? Street Fighter 6 just announced a year 4 roster. And someone they announced really caught my attention. A brand new Indian character? South Asian representation in probably the biggest fighting game franchise of all time? And my first reaction wasn't just for the Street Fighter fans. It was a question. How does Tekken in 2026 doesn't have any brown representation? Firstly, let's play Arjun. So they got another Middle Eastern character, Yasmin, right? Cool, amazing. And then I was like, hey, Arjun, he looks cool. He looks awesome, right? So instead of a skinny brown guy with Dowsing, you know, they went with someone a bit more bulky and thought, you know what? Let's get rid of that stereotype. I thought this was awesome. And this character looks sick as well. Man like Bosch. Now guys, let's get back to Arjun for a minute, right? You see him here blowing some sort of air or fire, I don't know. But let's just celebrate what Street Fighter did. Arjun is a brand new character they're going to drop this autumn, right? He's an Indian police officer accused of killing his colleague and now living on the run, searching for the true culprit, right? Typical frame, police story, whatever. Now, this is what I really like. His fighting style combines with extraordinary lung capacity with yogic breathing to unleash explosive power through bare knuckle yoga techniques. That's not just a cool character concept. That's authentic South Asian character development. You could tell that's a hybrid of Dowsing and modern contemporary fighting coming together. Now, there's some important context to this. Dowsing has been in Street Fighter since 1991, guys. One character has represented a billion people. One character. Now, I chill with South Asians all the time. They love Street Fighter, but they know Dowsing doesn't represent them. I think Capcom looked at this and said, that's enough. We need to do a lot better. And they did. This is a big W for Street Fighter 6. And so many people are going to buy Street Fighter 6 because of Arjun. Now look at this. This is crazy. Arslan Ash has tweeted, Street Fighter got Arjun from India. Tekken, Pakistan character when? Look at this. This is like, no one would ever tweet this. A lot of brown folks feel like there's no representation from Tekken. There's been 8 Tekken games and there's not been one brown man in Tekken. And the champion, 7-time Evo champion, is a brown guy. Let that sink in. They don't feel represented at all. Now, this is crazy because Arslan Ash, he's a massive celebrity in Pakistan, India, South Asia. They love Arslan Ash. One man alone single-handedly put South Asia on the map for Tekken, like nobody had before. So when Arslan Ash wins, millions of South Asians celebrate. When Arslan plays, South Asian communities, Pakistan, Afghanistan, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, you name it, Nepal, they love Arslan Ash. The passion for Tekken in South Asia is crazy because I stayed there. I know how much they love fighting games. He saw Street Fighter announce Arjun, an Indian character, and his response was simple and honest. Pakistani character in Tekken when? Think about that. The greatest Tekken player of all time is asking when will his community be represented in the game that he's dedicated his life to. Now let me break this down to you. Markman had a huge influence in getting Josie, a Filipino character, in Tekken. Now, I'm not mad at that. I'm just mad at why did it have to replace Bruce? Josie could have had her own slot. Now, Markman, all he does is sit and talk about a video game. He doesn't come close to Arslan Ash's skill. Yet, he managed to do that. I've been speaking about it. I said, you know what? It would be good to see brown representation. I don't think brown people speak up at all. Now, that's not a small thing. This is a genuine conversation Bandai Namco need to have. Because Tekken is about representation. Now guys, let's look at this, right? Street Fighter 6 got Arjun, a second brown character. Tekken has 8 games, not one brown guy in this. You can argue martial arts, kung fu comes from India, right? Look at all of this. There's not one brown guy here. That's a conversation that needs to be had. Now, I do want to be fair here because I've seen Bandai Namco can respond to representation gaps when they recognize them. Shaheen was specifically created because Arabs wanted representation. Harada and his team visited the Middle East to get the representation right. Good for them. Marizo was created because of lack of African representation. They went to Madagascar, they listened. So the president is there. Tekken can create a South Asian character when they decide to. Because it's not looking good, because Street Fighter just announced Arjun, a second brown character, and I celebrate that. But 8 Tekken games and not one brown representative? We have to talk about it. The question is, what they're waiting for. The community is there. The greatest Tekken player of all time is a brown man. You need to represent his community. What more does Namco need to see? Guys, I don't want to hear, oh, there's no fighting style in India. Everyone's like, bada, bada, bada. No. There's so many fighting styles, and I'm just going to name a few. Now, on the top left, you can see a martial arts called Kalari Payato, originating in Kerala. Dynamic, weapon-based combat. And then you got Kushti. Yeah, you got the great Kali there. Kushti, Punjabis love Kushti. It's old school wrestling. That's all it is. Watch a film called Dangal. You'll love it. It's wrestling at its finest. Then you have the Sikh martial art, which is called Gatka. Weapon combat with spiritual roots, going back centuries. This is what I'd go with because my background is Punjabi. Now, any of these fighting games in the Tekken engine will look phenomenal. And the character story writes itself. You can have a Pakistani fighter, you can have an Indian fighter, it doesn't matter. But I do genuinely think it's time for some South Asian representation. Because brown people don't speak up. I would love to see a Sri Lankan fighter. The possibilities are incredible. But right now, Tekken, you're looking bad. Now, my thing is this, right? Black and white people, they love to see films from different cultures. Believe you when I say this, white people are sick of seeing white movies, yeah? They want to see stories from different people, from different cultures. Trust me, I'm around white people a lot. Let me give you an example. American influence is crazy here in the UK. That's why we're so in tune with American culture. We can do American accents. All the best actors go to America and do their accents, and they're mad at it. But Americans, have you realized they can't do the British accent? The Drewski guy tried to do a sketch, but his accent was off. It was, unfortunately, it was terrible because you get films like Snatch, maybe once every 20 years. But there's not a huge British influence in America. And unfortunately, there's no brown influence. Yeah, I'm from London, bro. I grew up here. Punjabis love fighting. Street Fighter just celebrated a South Asian character called Arjun. And I genuinely celebrate that with every Street Fighter 6 person. But this also shines a light on Tekken that we can actually no longer ignore. South Asia has given Tekken its greatest champion, arguably. It's time Tekken gives something back. A South Asian character done with the same care of Shaheen and Marizo. Not just a typical bada bada bada. No, make him look good. Make him look cool, man. Not one of us are like bada 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 bada. Yeah, give him a cool... Make him cool, man. You know, look, there's 2 types of South Asians. There's ones with a hardcore accent, and there's ones that develop a bit of confidence, you know. Hi, my name is Arjun Rambal, and I'm here to promote my new film. You know, you could do so much. Arslan Ash has tweeted this publicly. Now the whole community is asking, where's the brown representation? Because every race is represented in Tekken. Namco, when? The ball's in your court. Not your typical video, and I don't think any other content creator is going to do this video. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. What kind of South Asian character would you like to see in Tekken? What fighting style would you choose? And if you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button because we touch subjects that other content creators don't. We have real conversations here about the FGC and we hold people accountable. Subscribe and be part of the family. Aussie is out.